Guys, it's actually happening. There is a new Lord of the Rings movie coming out. It's been so long, I'm so excited. Now I know that this is something that's been rumored for quite a while and it's been very up in the air, but as of this past week, it's been pretty much confirmed. In this video, I'm going to cover pretty much everything we know about this movie up until now. So this new movie is called The Hunt for Gollum, and it's dropping in 2026, which honestly feels like forever away, but I think it's going to be worth the wait. At least I hope it is. So what is this movie going to be about? Basically, it's set between the Fellowship of the Ring and the Hobbit. So after the Hobbit ends and before the Fellowship of the Ring begins. If you remember in the original trilogy, Gandalf was super paranoid about Sauron finding the ring again. And he suspected that Gollum knew something because Gollum obviously had the ring before. So he sent Aragorn, yes, Aragorn, to track him down. Now, since this movie takes place between The Hobbit and The Lord of the Rings, I really feel like Legolas should be involved too. I mean, he was active during this time and he would have met Aragorn at this time. So why wouldn't he tag along? So fingers crossed that we actually see him in this. But here's where things get interesting. This whole Hunt for Gollum mission ties directly into Gandalf figuring out that Bilbo's magic ring is way more dangerous than it seems. Back in The Hobbit, Gandalf didn't immediately realize that Bilbo had found the One Ring when he meets Gollum in the caves. He knew Bilbo had picked up something strange in the goblin tunnels, but he questioned him and Bilbo started sneaking around unusually well. But at the time, Gandalf just assumed it was some magic ring, not the One Ring. Fast forward to years before The Lord of the Rings, Gandalf starts to get really suspicious. He notices that Bilbo isn't aging like a normal hobbit, and there's a few comments of this if you watch in the extended Lord of the Rings, the beginning of the movie, there's a few comments about Bilbo's aging. That kind of solidifies what this plot is going to be. And the ring seems to have an unnatural hold on him. And that's when he begins to investigate. He pieces things together, the possibility that Bilbo's magic ring might actually be Sauron's lost treasure. Here's where the Hunt for Gollum comes in. So Gandalf knows that Gollum once owned this ring, and if anyone can confirm what it actually is, it's him. The problem is Gollum has been wandering Middle-earth raving about his precious, trying to hunt it down. And if Sauron's forces find him first, they'll learn exactly where the ring has been hiding all these years. And obviously that would be a problem. So before that can happen, Gandalf sends Aragorn to track down Gollum first. So during this movie's timeline, Bilbo is just vibing in the Shire, completely oblivious that Sauron and Gollum are trying to track down the ring. Meanwhile, Aragorn is on this relentless manhunt across Middle-earth, chasing this little corrupted river hobbit who can accidentally blow this entire thing wide open. And that's what makes Gollum so important. He's the missing link between the ring's quiet years with Bilbo and the moment it resurfaces in the Fellowship of the Ring. So yeah, that's the story that this movie is focusing on. Aragorn's hunt for Gollum, Gandalf's growing fears about the ring, and all the chaos that surrounds that. Now, the question that most people are asking, is this canon or is this going to be another, what is that show called? Rings of Power. Is this actually part of Tolkien's lore? And the answer is kind of. It's not pulling from the main Lord of the Rings books, but it's based on stuff Tolkien wrote in the appendices, which are basically the extra notes and details he added at the end of Return of the King. So while this isn't a story that we see actually play out in the movies or the books, it's technically part of the same timeline and could fit in with the main story. Now for the best part, who is in it? Well, Andy Serkis, the legend who originally played Gollum, is coming back. Obviously to act as Gollum, but also to direct the movie. Now this guy is an insane actor, but I'm going to be honest, it's going to be really interesting seeing a director who isn't Peter Jackson for this, because bro delivered with those other movies, and Andy Serkis, I'm holding on hope, but I don't actually think I've seen any movies that he's directed. Maybe I have. I didn't actually look into it, but I think it should be okay. It should be fine because he was there for all the other stuff, so he knows what the fans are like and everything. It'll be fine. So yeah, that's Gollum covered. But what about Aragorn? And this is the big question. There have been rumors that Viggo might come back to play him again, which would be amazing, but nothing's confirmed yet. And honestly, since Aragorn would be younger in this movie, they could get away with casting someone else. But I fear that if Viggo isn't in it, then people are going to be really upset, and it might be the breaking point for the movie. Same thing with Sir Ian McKellen as Gandalf. He wants to do it. It's been discussed. The fans obviously want it too, but nothing is confirmed. Another interesting thing is that there's talk that there might not just be one movie. Apparently Sir Ian McKellen let it slip that there might be 2 parts. Now the fact that he let this slip makes me think that he is pretty much confirmed to be in the movie, but there is just no statement that has been made about it yet. So based on what he said, we could be getting a whole mini-series of movies about Gollum's capture. I don't think that's super likely. I think there will probably be one movie about Gollum's capture, and there might be another movie about another time period that hasn't been covered yet. And maybe that's what he was hinting at. So yeah, the hunt for Gollum is officially happening. It's coming in 2026 and it's going to be a big deal. So if you love Lord of the Rings, this might be your time to binge watch it multiple times, extended, of course. But what I'm thinking is, if they do make multiple movies of this, we're going to have to watch 3 extended Hobbits, multiple Gollum movies, if that's what's going to happen, and then the extended Lord of the Rings. And if you really want to include Rings of Power, you can chuck that before The Hobbit. So you're going to be getting like a solid amount of hours clocked watching this, and I'm not against that. I'm very happy with that. I'm just really hoping that they do stick to the themes that Peter Jackson had going in the movies, and obviously what Tolkien wrote in the books. I hope it stays completely accurate. I know a lot of creative freedom was taken in certain shows that were made like this, like the Rings of Power, where it just didn't seem to fit right. Like, bro, I started watching Rings of Power, I see the potential. It fills the void that was left after watching both trilogies. The elves have buzz cuts and short hair. I'm still watching it, but it's a struggle. So I need an accurate movie portrayal to come out again, because I need something else to watch. So now we're gonna watch fan-made trailers just because I thought it might be fun to see what people have come up with.
Smeagol's life is a sad story. Yes, Smeagol, he was once Kum. Before the ring found him, before it drove him mad. He fears us, but even more, he fears losing his precious. For in his twisted whispers lies a truth we cannot afford to lose. And that is why you must find him, Aragorn.
He leaves barely visible tracks.
Well, I don't think it's a problem for you. He may be pitiful, but never forget he is cunning. And more than that.
Oh, is it actually produced by him? Oh wait, no, this is, I blanked. I was like, wait, this is a fan made. I was getting so into it. I was like, hold up. This, I'm pretty sure this was made 4 days ago, so this is a pretty recent one. It's funny because the thumbnail for this trailer was fully AI generated, so I opened this thinking this would be fully AI generated, but they've used so many clips from Lord of the Rings in this.
Be careful, Aragorn. Gollum is not just a wretched fugitive. He senses danger before he sees it.
I low-key feel really bad for Gollum. Like, there's a lot of debate about whether or not if he was actually a bad person, because some people say that he killed his brother because the ring corrupted them so fast. But if you look at Bilbo and Frodo, it didn't corrupt them that quickly. But also, river folk are slightly different from hobbits. We saw how quickly the humans were affected by the ring. So I'm always torn, but I don't know. But either way, I feel bad for him. Because when he talks as a split personality, Smeagol is so cute, and then Gollum is just a psycho.
The hunt has started. We seek him for answers and some for power.
We must be quick.
What's the odds of us seeing Gimli in this as well? Gimli only met Legolas and Aragorn in the Fellowship of the Ring, right? Like, I read the books, but it was so long ago. I was so young when I read the books. I don't even know if I finished the books. Forgetting the timeline and how accurate the movie is. I know The Hobbit's very inaccurate, but Lord of the Rings I think is pretty accurate. So if there's a chance that we see Gimli in this, and Legolas, and Aragorn, the actual actors, I will die. Oh, that's actually really cool. Wait, that's AI, right? Or did they clip two different scenes together? Yeah, they clipped two different scenes together. Oh, that is so cool. That was done really well. It feels so weird watching the fan-made trailers, considering the amount of times that I have gone to react to a trailer that looks really cool and I'm super excited about, and then watched the whole thing, recorded it, yapped everything, and then find out afterwards that it was actually a fan-made one, so I can't even use it because it would just be clickbait. It's gonna be really interesting to see if they actually cast Viggo as Aragorn. Like, I'm actually kind of worried now. The only other option that I thought the plot might be, I thought it's either going to be this in-between time when they're trying to find the ring, or it's going to be, if you watch the extended, the beginning of Return of the King, you see Gollum's story of how he got the ring. So I thought the other option for the plot would be where he got the ring and then returned back to his town, and it explains that he was cast out. Not much detail is given, but basically he was called a murderer and he was cast out because of what happened to his brother. And again, there isn't much said. Like, it's literally Gollum talking, so you don't get too much out of it. But I thought maybe it would be about the town hunting down him and him basically running away. But I feel like this plot that I read out before makes a lot more sense because it's actually filling it with characters that the audience knows rather than just having one character the audience knows. So it would make sense. But either way, I think it's going to be good. No matter what it's like, I'm probably still going to go see it in cinema when it comes out, just for the feeling of going to watch a new Lord of the Rings movie. Love you guys. I'll see you guys next week.